Today's topic is units of measurement, and this is building your foundation for physics. Anytime you see a number, there'll always be some type of unit of measurement attached to it. So what is a measurement? A measurement is a precise value that tells you how much. But how much what? Well, it depends. I could ask you how many people there are in a room, or how tall you are, how much you weigh. It depends. So, or how hot it is, or how much do you weigh. A measurement communicates an amount in a way that can be understood by others. All measurements need units. So a measurement has a quantity as well as a unit. Measurements always include both a quantity and a unit. For example, in this picture, we wouldn't just say this boy is two what? Let's say 2 meters. That way we know by what system we're explaining his height. So units of measurement can be like 2 meters, 5 hamburgers, 1 person. You have to have that unit. Not just 2, but you have to have meters with it. Not just 5, but hamburgers with it. You need to know what you're dealing with. So without a unit, a measurement cannot be understood. If I asked you to walk 10, how far would you walk? Well, you wouldn't really know, right? You would have to say 10 what? 10 feet, 10 miles, how much? So when we're asking ourselves these questions, we're talking about distance, and this is the amount of space between 2 points. You can also think of distance as how far apart 2 objects are. So what are some units of length? So we have this system called SI system, or the metric system. And one of the smaller units of measurement is the millimeter, abbreviated mm, centimeter, cm, these are all lowercase, meter, m, and kilometer, km. So this is a visual of the units of measurement. So 1 kilometer is very large, as in the city. A meter is not that large. It's the height of a first grade student. A centimeter is very small, the width of a finger, and a millimeter is even smaller. So 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. 1 meter is also equivalent to 1,000 millimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, and 1 kilometer is equal to 10 meters. For example, when we start doing labs, you'll see we have a meter stick, as shown in the first picture here. And in that meter stick, you have 100 centimeters. So you'll see the other side of your meter stick has the 100 centimeters, and some of these also have inches, which we'll get into. So to check for understanding, you might have experienced this last year in being able to change units. So for example, I abbreviated K, H, D, M, D, C, M. So we have to know these equivalencies. We have to know that a meter is equal to 100 centimeters, 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So without having to divide and multiply, a better way is to just move the decimal. So we don't even need a calculator for this. So let's say, for example, on number 1 here, I want to change 827 centimeters to meters. So for example, I start off in centimeters, it's right here, and I want to go to meters, which is right here. So what I'm going to do is I have to move 1, 2. So I move twice, and I move twice to the left. So that's what I'm going to do. I start here at the end, and I move 1, 2 to the left. So now, instead of 827 centimeters, I have 8.27 meters. So let me try number 2, and then you can try 3 and 4 by yourself. So number 2, and let me erase this info so you can see. Number 2, I'm going from meters to centimeters. So now I'm going 1, 2 to the right. So I take my decimal and I move 2 to the right. So now I have 298 centimeters. And that makes sense. I'm going from meters to centimeters. So and each meter has 100 centimeters. So that makes sense. I have at least 2 meters here. So that's 200 centimeters plus 98. So 298 centimeters. Next, the next big unit is time. So the flow of time is an important part of our experience of life. So in order to understand what's going on in our lives, we have to understand time and how time changes. So there's two ways to think about time. What time is it, and how much time has passed? When someone asks, what time is it, what exactly are they asking for? So when they ask you this, they're asking for the time of day. What time is it? When someone asks, how long was I asleep? What exactly are they asking for? They're asking for a time interval. How long? 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 minutes? So a time interval is a quantity of time, has a beginning and an end. For example, the time of a race. So time interval in physics are almost always in seconds. And then we represent this by a lowercase t. So I could say this interval took 20 seconds, and I would write 20 and then an S. Okay. So what are some common units of time? We have seconds, minutes, hours, days, centuries, but the most common is always going to be seconds in physics. So choosing the right unit is very important. If someone asked you how old you are, would your answer be in seconds? Well, no, right? You would say I'm X amount of years old. In physics, calculations usually require time in seconds. So how many seconds are in 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 31.25 seconds? So let's do this quick calculation. So for example, let's say we have 1 hour here. So 1 hour is actually 60 minutes. And in each minute we have 60 seconds times, in 26 minutes we have also 60 seconds per each, plus 31.25 seconds. So this equals to around 5,191.25 seconds. The next unit of measurement is mass. Mass is the amount of stuff an object contains. This stuff is matter. Matter has anything that has mass and takes up space. And mass, on the other hand, is a measure of how much matter there is. Mass is not weight. Weight is a measure of force of gravity pulling on a mass. So each person has a different force of gravity based on their weight. And we'll get more into that when we get into forces. Mass is measured in kilograms. 1 kilogram was originally defined as the mass of 1 liter of water. So this is the more scientific definition. But just remember that kilograms is in kg, and that's describing mass. So a liter is a volume of 1,000 cubic centimeters, cc's. One liter is also 1,000 milliliters. So these are more conversions for units. Like we said, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Kilo, that's a good prefix. Kilo to remember is 1,000. So here's a visual representation. If you have about 1 kilogram, that would be like a bunch of bananas. 5 kilograms, a little more, like the size of a cat. 55 kilograms could describe a person, and then 200 kilograms describes a motorcycle.